by the way, so this is my first time. I just really like Ollie and Jack's reflection. So I saw if Jack does reflection, so why can't I? Okay, everyone. Oh, by the way, Harry, Chris is gonna have some difficulties with connection, but I'm sure you get what I mean because he might be on and might be off, but on back and forth. But yeah,
That's
okay,
okay.
we're
I
live,
had to go
and
do something.
hello, everyone.
Hey,
Today I am with Harry Thomas
Cr-
and Chris Howard.
Hey,
hey,
Chris Howard.
I'm the legendary
Okay.
warrior.
So I'm Merlin. So yeah, today we are doing my first ever trilogy reflection. Well, kind of trilogy. I really like the idea of doing a reflection on TV series. I know I keep giving you so much detail, but let's get back. Let's get to the topic.
Yeah,
Today we are here to talk about
yeah.
Hellboy.
uh, you're it's
Oh
an
hell
April
yeah.
Fool's joke, right?
Well, it's not April Fools. That's the thing. No,
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. We're going to be talking about the Troll Hunter, part one of the Tales of Arcadia trilogy, Troll Hunters, the Troll Hunters trilogy. We got Troll Hunters Part 1, Troll Hunters Part 2, and Troll Hunters Part 3. So, what Ollie and Jack do, the host doesn't go first. I'm going to hand the mic on to Chris Havard. So, Chris, would you like to share your thoughts on the first season of Troll Hunters?
Oh boy. It's a pretty good season. Yeah.
Have
Like
you got
I
anything
still
else to
think
say?
I still think it kind of dragged out a bit. Some some episodes.
I,
That's just
sup-
my opinion.
I suppose 26 is quite a lot. Quite surprising for DreamWorks, but then again, um, what are your thoughts on the characters, and
The characters are pretty good.
would you like to give your thoughts on them individually?
Uh, I don't know.
You're terrible. I'm
I know.
joking.
I
It's
know.
fine if you don't have a lot to say. Um, okay.
It's been a
So is
while
that
since I
all?
watched it, so
Is that all you want to say though?
uh, yeah.
Okay. And what would you give Troll Hunters out of 10?
8 out of 10.
All right then. Okay, so Harry, what is your opinion on Troll Hunters? Hopefully we get more words out of Harry more than we got for Chris. But
Lol.
not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying. We're supposed to speak up.
Oh,
But
oh,
yeah, but Harry, I'm handing the microphone onto you, so you shall speak into our microphones and continue. What do you want to think? What are your thoughts on Troll Hunters Part 1?
thanks, Lee. I'll do my best. Troll Hunters season one may be the weakest of the no actually scratch that. So it's the second best of the Troll Hunters seasons. For me, I don't mind that it's 26 episodes. The more the merrier for me. Because
Yeah, true.
I love that we get to spend plenty. It's just the show is just 3 seasons, so it needs to be 26 episodes so we can get to know our protagonists better. This is what the movie Trolls honestly should have been. I'm like DreamWorks. We need a Troll Hunters movie already because this is one of the best shows they have ever made, and second only to Race to the Edge on Netflix. And I can't believe Guillermo del Toro, director of the first two Hellboys, directed this. You can see his inspiration, and no one you can see why it turned out awesome. And Jim as a protagonist, yeah, I can relate to him because he's living with his single mother. He's close to her, and he doesn't have a father, and also Claire. Yeah, she is super cute for one thing. I was yeah, I loved every single moment with Jim and her, and also Blinky. He's so lovable as Jim's mentor, and even the troll character designs and just the look of Troll Market itself. It's some locations in this movie look as breathtaking as the hidden world, especially for a TV quality animation. And this is visually one of the best looking animated shows out there, and also yeah, Jim's mother, she is a sweetheart and so caring of her son, and even Strickler, yeah, he is the antagonist in this season. I do like him better in the later seasons, which I will get to, but and yeah, he makes for a he makes for a villain that you just love her to hate, and yeah, Troll Hunters season one to me was a near perfect opening season for one of DreamWorks' greatest shows. So yeah, I will certainly review this at some point. I will rate Troll Hunters season one 5 stars out of 5.
All right then. Yeah, I agree with Harry on the most part. This season, this really is a great season. I think or it wasn't. I saw the trailer back in 2016. I thought, yeah, it looked interesting, but it didn't appeal to me like a whole lot. And then Chris, what he told me about it, he got me curious, and I said, you know what, I'll give it a watch. And it was 2017 when I saw this, and I was blown away by this series. And it's so the tone, the lore, the storytelling, the tone, the characters. It's just a great. It's all over the place of greatness, and the way this story is quite dark and quite violent. And as the beginning episode, the way it opens up is very. It's very mature. Like, it's like wow, what a bang opening, and then obviously when the show obviously ends, which we'll get to later on, and also everyone will be talking spoilers, so yeah, and I think overall this season is really, really good. And I think Jim, he's quite. I can definitely see why some people can relate to him. And Toby's obviously very funny. He's definitely a very funny character. He's kind of the comic relief. And then obviously Claire, she's cute as well, and she's a good love interest. And then I think Blinky. I have to agree though. I like Jim's mother's relationship with Blinky a lot better than Strickler's in this season. I think it's just more interesting. It's more natural. I think the one with Strickler is just a. It's just it just seems like the whole teacher going out with your mother kind of cliche. Not that it's bad. I just think it's just like why couldn't it be Blinky go out? And obviously it is very funny when Blinky turns into a human. And I agree with Harry. All these characters are very likable, very lovable. And then there's the villain Bular in the first 13 episodes. Bular is great. He's very threatening, and he's kind of like Tai Long though, isn't he? The way he like wants power.
Well, similar, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention that's an opening fight with him. That was a freaking epic.
Yeah, it is because like the way they have a thirst for power, which thirst for power quote from Pang in Legends of Awesomeness. But yeah, I think Bular is very intimidating, and I also think Arg is very likable as well. He's kind of like Scully from Monsters Inc. when I kind of think of him,
Oh
except he
yeah.
doesn't talk very well. Like he is, they're kind of similar the way they're so damn lovable. Like the way Arg cared about Toby, the way uh, Scully cared about Boo in Monsters Inc. It's similar. DreamWorks definitely has similar things to Pixar and Disney. And I think Anger Rob, who's in the next 13 episodes, he's very scary for a children's animated series.
Oh, I know, right?
Like he's so intimidating, and it gets brutal though, doesn't it? It gets quite quite graphic enough. The way Angerot is as a villain, he's very threatening and he's very powerful as well. So I think that's also quite good as well. And I think DreamWorks they put in so much effort. And obviously this is written by Dan and Kevin Hegman, the same writers of Ninjago. It definitely has that similar tone though, the way it's so mature and takes itself very seriously and balances light and dark, which is great for animation because you can't always be over the top dark like the DCU. You have to have some lighthearted episodes. Like this series, it's not like dark, dark, dark. It's balanced. Like it is dark. It is very dark, but it has a balance of light and dark, which is good for children. And I think this is a series I think a lot of children will like, but I think a lot of adults and teenagers like. Well, me and Chris. I know Harry's a grown man, but Harry was a teenager once before. You know that. He wasn't always Principal Thomas.
Oh yeah, not too long ago.
And yeah, but I think the series it's like Legend of the Guardians. It can be enjoyed by teenagers and adults a lot more because I think teenagers and adults will understand what the characters go through a lot more and what Jim goes through in life and how he has to deal with having a new life. Like Jim, okay, maybe it could have been not. It's got kind of like Hiccup, where Hiccup by the end of the second film, he has a new life beginning. He has a lot of shit on his shoulders, which sets up, excuse me, How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. And it's great. I love Jim as a character. The way this season sets up his journey, his character arc, is great. And I think overall, this is a great season. And I'm going to give Trollhunters a 10 out of 10. Part 1, 10 out of 10. And yeah, so now we move on to Trollhunters Part 2, Dos Amigo. And Chris, would you like to share your thoughts on Trollhunters Part 2?
Okay. It was pretty good at some of the episodes. There was one episode I felt like didn't have to be there, like the episode Hero with 1,000 Faces. That one, I don't think it had to be there.
But it definitely, like, but what do you think of Gunmar as a villain?
I think he's pretty good.
He's very intimidating.
Yes.
As a villain. There's not many new characters though in this season, is there? Other than
No.
brother.
It's obviously you get the introduction to the you get the introduction to the underworld, kind of.
Yeah, that's true actually. Like the Darklands, which is very cool.
And I really enjoyed that storyline.
The way, yeah, which was obviously set up in Part 1.
Yes. And I felt like more of the series should have taken place there in the underworld. In my opinion, just
yeah, I would agree. This season, the stakes are quite higher though.
Yes.
It definitely is higher than the last season, which is good. Well, have you got any more thoughts to share, or?
No, the characters stay the same, and yeah. So.
Okay. And out of 10?
9 out of 10.
Okay, so Harry, Trollhunters Part 2.
Oh yes, well, season 2, unpopular opinion, would be my least favorite of the 3 parts. Not that it's bad, far from it. It's still awesome, but to me, this season was less relatable than the first for me. My problem is that the lack of Jim's mother in it, and she has so little screen time here. But other than that, and also I do think they spent a little too long with that storyline of rescuing Jim from the other world.
Darklands.
the Darklands. That could have been shortened, that storyline for me. But other than that, this is still it's still an epic follow up to season one, and I do, as you say, I do admire how the stakes are higher, and it's not afraid to have the balls get darker. And Gungmar, he is my favorite troll hunter villain. I thought Angaroth was ruthless, but this dude, he's literally, I can't think of a. He's one of the best DreamWorks villains I've ever seen. I love how his design is similar to Kai from Kung Fu Panda 3. And then and yeah, I do think this season does have the amazing action as the first season did, and also I love how Strittler, he has a change of heart here. He becomes good, which is awesome. Even if I do like Blinky and Jim's mum's romance better, but yeah, and overall, and also this season was a little too short. It really, especially in comparison to the first season, it needed to be some more episodes. So yeah, overall, I'd give.
And not only that, we had to wait like a whole year for it, which that 26 episodes in December 2016, and a whole year later, just 13. That's just not good enough.
I know, right? Seriously, DreamWorks, you just.
But we got season 3 earlier.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
true.
Yeah, an entire year. I mean, come on, DreamWorks, that's letting your fan base down. But overall, yeah, I'm gonna rate Trollhunters season 2 a 4 stars out of 5.
All right. Nice talk, Harry and Chris. Trollhunters Part 2. I can definitely see where you're coming from, Harry and Chris. This season, I think is better, but I maybe not better. I think better is a strong word. I'd say it's on par. The thing is, it is quite short. It's not that it's short. It's just that it's how long we had to wait for. It just wasn't worth it. It's just like a whole year is just a load of bollocks, and I just think the way this the way the season could have been longer. Maybe not 26, but maybe like 15 or 20, which would have been nice. At least it's not 3 episodes. Well, that could have been a lot worse, but I think this is overall a great season. It is more of a setup for season 3. This definitely is a setup. I think the idea of the Darklands rescuing Jim, they kind of focused a bit too much on Jim rescuing Claire's baby brother. I think they could have maybe just. I mean, okay, yeah, we get it. You have to rescue the baby brother, but I mean, like, how can you not like rescue? Like, can Jim not go out with the baby brother? That could have made sense. And yeah, I suppose maybe they kind of spent a bit too much, but other than that, I do think this season it is very good, and I like how Blinky meets his twin brother, who's voiced by Mark Hamill, who played Ozai in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's great. I love how he's evil, and then obviously next season change of heart. And I think overall this season's great, and I love that Gunmar. He is he's a great villain. He's very intimidating as well, and the way he's obviously built up from the very beginning. Well, kind of in the middle of season 1 when he finds out, oh, his son was off. And then I think I think they definitely set it up very well for season 3, and the way kind of this season is more of a setup, so it's kind of like Infinity War, isn't it? The way it has to set it's just there to set up the next one, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
There's another thing that it's set up. 3 Below and Wizards series that is coming.
Well, yeah, but obviously we're just talking about the Trollhunters one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we might get to that eventually, maybe. We'll see. But I'm more of a fan of the Trollhunters. But I think overall I don't have a lot to say. I'm more interested in talking about part three because there's a lot to talk about in part three, especially that ending. But yeah, Troll Hunters Part Two. I'll give it a 10, and yeah. So we move on to the final chapter, the epic conclusion of this trilogy. Well, first trilogy. Troll Hunters Part Three. So Chris, would you like to share your thoughts?
Okay. There was a lot of big stakes on this. There were that and that I liked. Like for example, like Jim having to become a troll. That's pretty much a big stake.
That went very, very emotional, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. And just there were a lot of. I liked the storyline where they had to get Merlin.
What do you think of Merlin's character, Chris?
Hold on. It's he can be a bit annoying sometimes, but yeah. Otherwise, I think he's okay.
What do you think of Morgana?
Okay, honestly, she's okay.
Huh. Have you got anything else you want to say, or
Not really.
rating out of 10? Chris?
A 10 out of 10.
Alright, cool.
A
Harry,
10 out of 10.
Troll Hunters Part 3, the conclusion of this trilogy. So, in 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Whoa! Season 3. It is this is the best of the Troll Hunters seasons. It even tops season 1. I'm like, not only does it feel longer than season 2, thank God, but just everything happens in season 3. I'm like every boy, and I'm like with the we see Morgana come into the plot. We see Merlin, and we see even Jim go through some important changes as a character. Jim becoming a troll, and that I did not see that coming, and that was a heart-wrenching twist that he couldn't live like a normal human because of his troll form, and yeah, Merlin was freaking hilarious, and Morgana, she's a formidable villain, and yeah, this is far better. This is a far better version of the King Arthur story than Kid Who Won't Be
Yeah,
King.
oh, much better. All I could think of when I see Kid Who Would Be King. Yeah, I've seen this. I saw. Wait, am I watching the live action YouTube parody of Troll Hunters? Because it seems like it is, which is a huge issue because Kid Who Would Be King sucks.
I know, right? Boy, does it suck big time. But thankfully, Troll Hunters did it far better, and yeah, and even yeah, I love how everybody, all the parents of Claire and even Jimmy and even Jim's mother, they all find out about the trolls and everything that they've kept secret, and even and that's a troller who at first didn't trust Jim, but then grew to become
Oh,
a close
yeah.
friend of Jim. He sacrif he give he yeah he gives his life to rescue Jim in Merlin's tomb, and that was powerful. No way. Yeah, that this season yeah, it has the balls to kill off characters and it's certainly the most mature of the three and the finale, the final episode, it's just one the huge epic battle with and the that ending is yeah, that boy does that ending bring a tear to your eye. You're like, who put the onions too close to my eyes when Merlin? I think, don't get me wrong, as entertaining as Merlin is, he's far better than the Merlin in Shrek the Turd. But here he is kind of a jerk when
He
he's.
is a dick, yeah.
I know, right? He's such a dick when he forces Jim to become a troll and just say goodbye to his own mother and Claire and just yeah, that's one of DreamWorks' saddest endings, but up there with the ending of The Hidden World. But yeah, season three, it's this is what I call a grand finale to a an epic show. Yeah, I and I cannot wait to review this show on my channel. So yeah, I will rate Trollhunters season three 5 stars out of 5.
Okay, nice one. Troll Hunters Part 3. There is quite a bit to say. This season is amazing, and the way it came out a week before I finished up for summer, it is a great excuse me, it's a great finale to a series as a whole, and the way it wraps up Jim's character arc and everyone else is it's great, and obviously it's excuse me the new villain Morgana. She's quite cool. She's much better than Kiddo Whoopi King, which Kiddo Whoopi King sucks. And I think this is overall a great finish off, and it really wants to be it was built up from the beginning, like how Avatar: The Last Airbender was. Hang on, everyone.
Yeah, see, yeah, and also it is awesome to see Blinky's brother have that change of heart and become a hero, similar to Strickler having his change of heart. Yeah, yeah, these characters go through real changes in this show, and season three is the greatest. It had hands down the most emotional impact. Oh, hey Lee.
Sorry about. Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry about that. No, but yeah, this season it is great. It's definitely built up from the very beginning. Obviously the way they kill off Gunmar is good, and the way they killed off Troll, who grew on Jim, is it's very emotional how they did it, but bittersweet, kind of like how Stoic died. Obviously the idea of Merlin, he is funny. Actually, Harry, do a Merlin impression.
Um, becoming a true troll hunter.
Oh, your Troll Hunters impressions are great, but yeah, and the way he obviously tells Jim, "Oh, you can't fight as a human; you have to fight as a troll." Is quite sad, but kind of leaves it open. Does it? It isn't. It kind of sets it up. Does it? Kind of sets up more, doesn't it?
Sort of.
Like the way, oh, what's gonna happen? Does he just stay? Does it just end? But obviously, there is going to be two more trilogies. Tree Below, which is the one about the Italian twins, Ajal and Grell, and then after this December, they have Wizards coming out. So by 2020, yeah, by 2020, hopefully this series is going to be over. So it's lasted from 2016 to 2020. So it's been going on for 4 years. That's quite quite a long series.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's long enough, although not as long as Dragon. That lasts from 2010, well, kind of 2009 to 2019, because obviously the very first teaser trailer.
Not 9 years. 9 years.
Yeah, but if you want to count the teaser, then it's kind of 10
Oh yeah.
from the Monsters vs. Aliens DVD. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll give this season 10 out of 10. And so yeah, out of 30, I'll give Trollhunters 30 out of 30. I think they're all very good. Chris, what would you give this series as a whole? 30 out of 30. Oh, he's on mute. Well, he gave it 8, so 8 plus 9 plus 10, 19. Oh, it's 19 plus. What is? Hang on, let me use my calculator. So, okay, before anyone gets cooking, no one's perfect at maths. All right, 27. So I'm guessing 27 out of 30. Harry, what's your rating out of 30?
28 out of 30.
All right, nice. Yeah, yeah. Maybe someday we'll go to the next two trilogies, but yeah. Oh, this was quite short than expected. And as for Lockhart Notion, sorry, man, I couldn't add you because it somehow wouldn't let me add you, which is weird. But I hope you can forgive me. It's nothing personal. It's just the Hangout system wouldn't let me invite you, which obviously sucks. But we can try do another reflection someday. I mean, I'm hoping the next reflection for Legend Tales of a Band of Noble Guardians. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time, and let's have a funny private call. So I'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.